environment consultants. It's good to have you here this morning.
Good morning. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, talking about climate change. A lot of people will ask, what is climate change? What are we talking about?
Okay. Let me just use the two words. Change in climate, or change in climatic condition that we used to know. And the word climate is the average atmospheric condition of a place over a period that has been studied over a period of 35 years. So if you used to have rainfall for 5 months and now you have rainfall for 2 months or 3 months, it means that the weather pattern of your area has changed. So you can then conclusively say there is climate change.
But in Nigeria, for example, we are now having rainfall in November and people are saying this is unusual. Are you saying this can be regarded as climate change?
Exactly. That is a very good example. So the uncertainty in the pattern of rainfall and also the temperature, that sums up the definition of climate change.
We have the just concluded climate change conference where people were talking about climate change across the globe. What is that particular reference point when you talk about Nigeria? What are those things that we are battling with when you talk about climate change?
A whole lot. Now, is it the climate as we have it? Is like the engine room of the earth, the weather, the atmosphere itself. This is where we get the energy that drives the water cycle, the food cycle. Talking about the autotrophs, the plant that grow through photosynthesis, they get their energy from the sun. We have animals that eat these plants, herbivores. We have carnivores that eat on this, and we humans eat all of these things. Now, so the sun and how the intensity of the sun, the temperature, and all this are controlled by the climate. So the impact of that is tremendous, not just on Nigeria, globally, but on Nigeria, it is so serious that areas where we used to have water, like rivers, are now going dry. Area we used to have dry land, that the species, the ecosystem is used to dry land, are now having water inundated, water staying on the floor for a long time, waterlogged, and then areas where the people used to have built houses around the coastline are being taken over. Kilometers of communities are taken over by the sea. So all these things might look very small on the global scale, but they are having tremendous serious impact. Look at our food security as well. It's threatening the food security. A lot of farmers would plant expecting rain to fall because of their past knowledge of when the rain starts and when it stops. Normally rain should start by March, and by October it should end. So latest by October we should have August break. But now you see rain falling through August to November. Maybe we will have rain in December. So it is affecting our productivity, agricultural productivity. It is affecting our communities. It is affecting our access to water supply. It is affecting the quality and quantity of water we get.
Now we have a situation where we have farmer-leaders clashes, and the federal government is saying that because of the migration of people from the desert area to the south because of climate change. Do you think climate change is also responsible for what we are having?
Yes, I believe so much that climate change is responsible. I was part of a team that did some study on the northern part of Nigeria, the hydrologic pattern of that area, and I realized that there are some areas there are some dams that had gone dry. Yes, in the past. One is Goronyo Dam in Sokoto, and then this is one of the tributaries of Lake Chad. River Adejia used to also run dry sometimes, not completely dry, but you see that, and then sometimes the drainage pattern will even get cut off. So when the Lake Chad is not getting recharged, it's losing its water. It has lost about 70% of its actual size. Now, this water used to be the source of irrigation for communities around that, and it's not just Nigerians alone. Yes, about 5 countries around that Lake Chad. Niger, Chad, Nigeria, and 2 other countries like that. So, and then all these things are stressing the availability of fodder, of feed for animal, and then also grazing land are also getting diminished. So they don't have any choice than to look for greener pasture, and in looking for greener pastures they come down south. Coming down south, they meet with farmers along their way, and then they want to put their interest first, And that's why we have.
Now, I was actually confused. What is the implication for us if we don't do something about it urgently?
Wow. The implication will be serious. Number one, let me start from the coastal areas. Lagos Island might be completely gone. Completely gone.
Lagos Island?
Yes. If we get to 1.5, and now they are even shifting it from 1.5 to 1.8 degrees C. That's the average temperature of the earth will increase by 1.8 degrees centigrade. If we get to that place, Lagos Island will be completely gone. Imagine the amount of money they've spent,
industrialization,
estates and all that have been built there. Not just that, areas where they used to have farmlands, where they used to cultivate farms and all these things, they will also have serious impact. Will have a lot of deserts. The whole of the northern parts might be encroached completely, and then the hardship that will happen there, interstates and inter-city migration will be heavy. Lagos is not populated yet. You will see influx of people because people lose their job in the villages. They can't continue.
Even with the overpopulation in Lagos, you are saying it's not yet populated.
I'm saying it sarcastically that it is not populated yet.
They should still expect more people.
They should expect more people if we don't do anything. And then you begin to see more clashes. You begin to see war, famine, hunger, because you drill borrow, you won't get water. It will get to that level if we can't continue this way. So, and then because the recharge is not there, water is not getting recharged. The water, the hydrological cycle is what distributes water. So, and if we are not getting this as we should, your boreholes or wells will not get recharged, and you can't get water for either irrigation, for farming, for living, for anything. So, we're going to have people displaced. We're going to have jobs.
Coming to that, because people are looking at irrigation for the south. That yes, we cannot determine when the rainfall is now. Let's get irrigation. But from what we are saying, so irrigation might not even be sufficient from what you were saying.
For you to irrigate, you need water. So what you don't even have water from close around you. If you don't have access to water around you, you can't bring water from. You can't come to Ogun State to bring water or Lagos State to bring water to Sokoto. It's not economically feasible. So if they run out of water, either they are dams or they are even deep bowls, they will still have the same problem.
So what do you think the government should start looking at now, state governments and federal government?
A whole lot of restoration, ecological restoration, a whole lot of green projects. We've been doing some tree planting, but we should also, the truth is, climate change has come. It is here now. It is not like we are preventing it. Yes, we are preventing it from getting worse, but it is here already. So two things: adaptation and mitigation. Adaptation first. Please give me the opportunity to give this scenario. You have a community, they have a transformer. That transformer now, from the source of where they're supplying power, maybe IBDC, they're supplying, usually they used to supply between 220 volts. But all of a sudden you begin to see 240 volts. What happens to the bulbs? They get blown and all that. Now you have some people that are maybe elites in the area. They have enough resources to buy AVR, what we call stabilizer. Big AVR, they install it on their own meters. As what power is coming into the house, it goes into the AVR. The AVR has the ability to control or regulate the voltage and brings it to 220. Even though you are supplying 300 volts, it's 220 that gets. But poor people that cannot afford to buy AVR, what happens to them? Their whole appliances get blown. That is exactly the plight of nations like Nigeria. We are not poor, but mismanagement has made us look poor. So because we are not putting resilient measures in place, like embankment in their coastlines, whereby if you have sea surge, they won't be able to embankment. Like you have structures that are very high that you build along the coastline. These are things that nations like Netherlands have. They are below water. They are below sea level, but you won't see water, overcoming the
overflowing the bank.
But that's what we don't have in Nigeria, and that's why water can just encroach, and the surge can take over and submerge communities. So our resilience is very poor. So our adaptation is very poor. We need a lot of that to be done. We need a lot of projects and programs and activities in that line. Then we also need to contribute to our own NDC, which is nationally determined contribution.
Have we not been doing that already?
So far, no. Well, okay. yes, we have been trying. Okay, let me put it that we have been trying, but we have a long. Imagine our president said would achieve zero net carbon by 2060. 2060. Where will he be by then?
I think it's being futuristic.
Okay.
All right, fine, let it go. What are your final thoughts on this issue, the climate change?
Okay, so I would say that we need to be actually very serious about this. This is about our existence. Climate change is threatening our existence. It does not mean whether you are rich or you are poor. In as much as you are on earth, it can affect you, it can affect your business. You are a politician, it can affect you. You are a CEO, it can affect you. You are a billionaire, it can affect you. It is affecting you. You might just not know it yet. It is affecting everybody. So we need to all be serious about this. In fact, it is not too much to say state of emergency should be declared on climate change.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asimi Adeodun, for coming on AM Cafe. We quite appreciate you. We have been looking at climate change and matters arising, and it is on this note I would like to draw the curtains on today's edition of AM Cafe on Impact Africa Television, IATV. Till tomorrow, when I come your way again, I am Anu Akomalafe. Do have a productive day, and please stay safe. Bye for now.